Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to show y'all how I took my client from this to this. First thing I did was soak off her acrylic. We do not rip off our acrylics. The proper way to take it off is to do a soak off. Once I completed the soak off, I went ahead and took all the shine off the natural nail, and then I used young nail swipes to make sure I take all the dust off the nail and to dehydrate the nail. And now I'm using Young Nail Protein Bond, and you're going to apply this to the toenail 2 times. If you would like to know how to do a soak off, I can show you guys in the next video. Just comment down below. First thing I'm going to do is use my Young Nail Speed Clear, because this nail I'm going to apply, it's going to be a full bling nail. So I'm going to apply the clear first, and then I'm going to use a gel polish. That's a glitter gel polish, and I'm going to apply it to the nail. But you can add, there's plenty ways you can do a full bling. You can do it with the basic color in the background, whatever color you're doing, or you can do a clear glitter, or you can just get speed clear or clear, regular clear acrylic like I'm doing now, and then apply gel polish over it. As for the soft white, I'm using Frosted Pink by Mia Secret, and you can find this acrylic off Amazon. It will be linked down below in my Amazon storefront. And I don't know why they call it Frosted Pink, because to me it's nowhere near pink. It's literally a soft white color, but they call it Frosted Pink. And if you have watched my previous videos, you know I'm always saying add acetone into your monomer, so that way the acrylic is not so runny. And if this is your first time watching, I hope you continue to keep on watching me, because you can learn a lot about acrylic toes or regular nails. And leave a comment down below on anything you want to learn. So I'm going to go in with the acrylic, and I'm going to make sure, one, you want to make sure you have full control of the acrylic. Two, when you place that bead down, all you have to do is mold it into place. Mold it into the square shape that you would like it to be, and then pull down. If you notice, I'm doing a lot of patting and a lot of pulling down. And around the cuticle area, I do not flood it, but if you was to flood the cuticle area, all you have to do is clean it up. And another thing, when you're placing your bead down, do not place it too close to the cuticle area. It's just like you're doing a regular set. You're gonna literally pat it into the cuticle area without flooding it. When you're laying your acrylic down, make sure you're covering the entire nail. Do not leave no gaps, because if you leave any gaps, it can cause damage later on. And that's going to leave space and room for water to get underneath the nail and cause a greenie. If this is your first time doing acrylic toes, I recommend that you really focus on the application and really do your research and your homework on acrylic toes. Do not use no nail tips. Always do an overlay, and practice on yourself first before you start taking clients to do acrylic toes on them. It's really similar, the same steps. It's just doing it on yourself, which it probably be a lot more harder versus doing it on a client. But it's not, acrylic toes is really not that bad. It's just, if you don't know what you're doing, you can damage the client toenails. And it's like, once their toenails is damaged, it's going to be very hard for it to get back. You know, it's going to take a little minute for them to get back healthy. So some people's toes never grow back if you don't know what you're doing. So really do your research and your homework and practice on yourself first before you take clients. So now it's time to shape the acrylic with your e-file. I like to do this first before I use my hand file, because I feel as if when I'm doing this, I can really see where I have acrylic stuck at, and I could just take it down with my e-file, and then I could debug the nail as well. But when it comes to shaping the acrylic with the e-file, you want to make sure you're taking all the acrylic down from underneath the nail, because the client do have to have space and room so their natural nail can grow. And then you do not want the acrylic to look super thick. Of course, at first when you put the acrylic on, it does look super thick, like that big toe is looks super thick. But once you take it down, like all that acrylic down, it's gonna look very flush and very natural. And that's the look you want to go for, a natural look without a nail tip. Comment down below, do you guys really enjoy seeing the e-filing part and the shaping part, or you guys really just only care about the application? Cause I don't know, I be feeling like putting this in the video, it'd be kind of super long. But then it's like I want to make sure that if people like learning how to do acrylic toes, they also know how important it is to make sure you debulk the nail and shape it. So I don't know, y'all comment down below. When y'all applying y'all acrylic on the big toe, please do not be like me. I added way too much acrylic on this big toe, and I paid for it later on. Like, I had to debulk a lot to make it look very natural, because I like for the nail to look more natural than like a just big old nail there. Especially the big toe, it's a little challenging doing the big toes, because remember, you're not using a nail tip, you're doing an overlay. You do not want it to look bulky and thick and crazy looking. It shouldn't have a big old apex because it's acrylic toes. So yeah, I had to switch and use my 5-in-1 bit so I can take down a lot more acrylic faster. And you're just gonna watch how I end up taking it down and making it look way more natural. And you guys already know I like to use an 80/80 grit nail file. This file is from Pana, and you can find this on my Amazon storefront. Majority of the things I use is on my Amazon storefront. And nowadays, if you want to know what a nail tech is using, just go, if they have an Amazon storefront link in their bio, just go on the Amazon storefront. Majority of the time, everything that they buy from Amazon is going to be listed on there. Well, I'm going to speak for myself. Me personally, everything that I get from Amazon, I always add it to my Amazon storefront so that way people can get it. Because I know when I was a beginner, people used to be hiding what they buy, like they don't tell you what they use, and it's a little challenging because you can't, some nail techs, you can't just message them and say, oh, what color is this? They don't want to tell you. Or where did you get this? They don't want to tell you. It's like they gatekeep a lot. Me personally, if you DM me, I had girls come from YouTube, come from TikTok, DM me on IG, and just be like, what are you using? How you do this? Can you tell me how you do this design? Or what acrylic, which acrylic I like best, what brush. Whatever questions you have, I'm not a gatekeeper. I would tell you. Like, I don't hold back, because I remember when I used to be that girl in people DMs trying to figure out how to do nails or what to use to get a better look. So don't be afraid to leave a comment, because I respond to comments, or don't be afraid to DM me, because I will respond. And here I go again with this big toe. It was just not giving natural, so I did have to go back and debug a lot more. And this is why it's very important to check your work. I personally know exactly how I like my toes to look when I'm doing people's toes. And then this client right here, she always comes to me. She comes to me every 3 weeks or every month. It depends, but I already know how her toe shape is. Like, I already know how her toenails should look and how she like her toes. I don't like the toes to look super thick, so I'm gonna make sure I take my time to debug the nail if I add too much acrylic. And now I'm gonna be using this cuticle bit just to shape around the nail so I could get more of a natural flush look. And then I'm also going to use it to go underneath the nail. But this bit here is a lifesaver when it comes to acrylic toes. You can really take down all that acrylic around the cuticle area and seal it very close without cutting your client. Like, I use it on a low speed because it can cut your client, y'all. Y'all got to be very careful with it. But I use it on a low speed, and I get it from Amazon. It's going to be listed down below. I'm going to be real. I'm going to be honest. When I was a beginner, I used to cut my clients so much, especially with this bit here. And with my other bit, my 5-in-1 bit, I used to cut my clients so much because I used to be so scared. But sometimes when you're so scared, you start to overthink, and that's what makes you mess up. So don't overthink it. Just be patient and go slow. Go at your own speed, so that way you're not nervous. And the last step I always do is I use my sanding bit just to smooth out the nail and to just take down any acrylic that I need to take down. I shape it up as well. I shape it up a little bit more. But using the sanding bit, to me, I love using the sanding bit. It's way better than the buffer. I don't buff out my nails. I used to when I was a beginner. But I don't really buff out the nails because I use the sanding bit, and I feel like the sanding bit, it just takes away any of the scratch marks that was on the nail, or that come from the drill, from using the drill, or it just debugs the nail. It just leaves a very smooth, soft surface. To take the dust off the nails, I'm going to be using my alcohol and my manicure brush. So before I apply my bling, I'm going to be using this Beetles gel polish. And I'm just going to apply one coat and then cure in the lamp for 60 seconds. And then I'm going to use my McCart rhinestone glue to apply my rhinestones. If you're wondering where to get your rhinestones from, well, where I get them, they're not too expensive, is AliExpress. And it's going to take 3 weeks to come. Sometimes it takes 2 weeks. It all depends on the vendor. But you can get it from AliExpress, or you can get it from Amazon. Amazon have some pretty affordable ones as well. But me personally, I like to just get them from AliExpress because it's a lot cheaper. And when I order from AliExpress, I always order in advance. So if I know I'm low on rhinestones or charms, I'm just going to order it in advance. So once I'm done applying the bling, I'm going to cure it in the lamp for 60 seconds. Add my top coat, and the top coat I use is from D&D. And then I'm done. Here's the final look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment. Bye. See you guys on Thursday.